up if you're feeling nice. Feeling nice. Feeling nice. Feeling nice. Yeah.
In the financial districts of Hong Kong, you can see and hear chanting Hong Kongers carrying umbrellas, blocking roads in a show of civil disobedience. These acts occurred in the wake of an announcement from the Chinese government that in the 2017 elections of a new chief executive, Hong Kongers shan't be able to decide between candidates of their own choice. Rather, those available will be ones who've been screened and pre-approved by a Chinese-backed committee. Outrage over this decision spread like a wildfire amongst the younger population, while the older generation remained mostly indifferent.
Hong Kongers can see that the democratic status of Hong Kong is hanging on a thread if developments happen as China needs them.
Their only assurance is that China will uphold the promises they made back in 1997 in the British handover of Hong Kong to adhere to a one country, two systems policy, which were to guarantee that Hong Kong maintain its autonomy and social framework, that is, the people's freedoms and rights enjoyed under the British regime will still remain in place under the new Chinese regime for 50 years. However, since that time, the mainland has made several attempts to encroach upon the democratic rights of Hong Kongers, and what many are viewing is a continuous erosion of past liberties. This latest bid is viewed as an attempt by the Chinese authorities to wriggle out of the promises by creating a sham democracy. Responsible for most of the organizing of the protest, nicknamed the Umbrella Revolution, is the pro-democracy movement Occupy Central with Love and Peace. The eponymous umbrella is used by the protesters to protect them from tear gas and pepper spray, employed on several occasions by the police. Other than that, the protests have remained mostly peaceful, with the protesters picking up any trash on the street and putting up signs around the blockades apologizing for any inconvenience. The background of this protest is much deeper than just a call for free elections, though. It is also about economic survival. Hong Kong youths face disheartening future prospects in a city-state that has become increasingly plutocratic. Looking on from a big perspective, Hong Kong might seem to do great. They rank among the highest in the world in GDP per capita and are valued as incredibly business-friendly. But if one looks a little closer, one will find that the money mostly lies within a small proportion of the Hong Kong population. The income inequality in Hong Kong is one of the highest amongst developed countries, and property prices have risen to heights impossible for the average Hong Konger to overcome, largely due to mainland property investors buying up all the land. Local companies are also swept away to make room for mainland companies who employ mostly elites imported from the motherland. Those hit the hardest by this are mostly young people who have trouble finding jobs, and even if they do, can't afford a place of their own, but must continue living with their parents in crowded apartments. They feel that the government led by Yang Xiong-ying has failed them and mostly caters to the will of business tycoons. The weather these next 4 days are neatly arranged into a ladder, starting on Monday with cloudy skies and a high temperature of 26 degrees, to Tuesday which has cloudy skies with occasional bursts of sun and a high temperature of 27 degrees Celsius, to Wednesday, which is mostly sunny with a high temperature of 28 degrees Celsius. And finally, Thursday, which is sun, with a high temperature of 29 degrees Celsius. Oh, there's also some 50-50% chance of rain this week. Good thing you brought your umbrellas! No? Well, crap. That was the funniest part of the video. Jackie? Could you do an interview with me, please?
Yeah, sure.
Well, many people know who you are today, but they don't know about Baby Jackie. Can you tell us about Baby Jackie?
Well, first of all, my name wasn't Jackie Chan. It was Chan Kong Tan. In Chinese, that means born in Hong Kong.
Seriously?
Seriously. And my parents used to call me Hao Kong.
And who were these parents?
Charles and Lily Chan.
Lily.
Yes.
Lily and her child Pao Pao. They couldn't think of anything better.
No.
Alright. Anything else you would like to say about your childhood?
Sure. My parents were so poor that they had to loan money in order to pay for my delivery. And after I was delivered, they offered to send me to the doctor who delivered me.
Well, that seems like a good investment, considering you're worth about 110 million euros nowadays.
Haha, perhaps. But in the end they didn't do it. But when I got older, they moved to Australia in order to work for the US Embassy. I, however, got enrolled to the Chinese Opera Research Institute and was left alone in Hong Kong at the age of 7.
Was that a difficult time for you?
The education was very harsh. I had to wake up early every morning to begin my studies in music, dance and traditional martial arts. Only late in the evening did it end. And the instructors would beat the children whenever they made any mistakes or disobeyed.
That's awful!
Yes, as I graduated 1971 after having been there for 10 years. But there weren't many available jobs at the Chinese Opera at the time, so I had to rethink my career choice. So I became a stuntman instead.
The start of an era.
I guess you could say that.
What was the first movie you appeared in?
I was only 8 when I participated in my first movie. It was called Big and Little Wanting Bar. My first action movie wasn't until after my graduation though. I made the highest fall in Chinese film history. The movie was called Fist of Fury, and I got to work alongside Bruce Lee on that one.
Bruce Lee is another actor and stuntman.
Yes, one of the greatest. He left some big shoes to fill when he died.
And were you the one destined to fill his shoes?
At least one of several people who tried.
Explain.
Bruce Lee's style of acting, well, good didn't fit me. When Bruce Lee punched someone, he kept going like it didn't hurt. I shake my hand and go, ah! 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 How are you feeling?
I don't know!
Ah! I tried working as his replacement in a series of movies with his old director Lu Wei, but they didn't become popular. It wasn't until after I stopped imitating Bruce Lee's image that I started achieving success.
You're known for mixing martial arts abilities with a sort of slapstick humor.
Yes, for example, I would use common household items instead of ordinary weapons. In one movie, I got to fight my kung fu master with a pair of chopsticks.
Which film was that?
Drunken Master. It was made back in 1978, and it was my breakthrough, so to speak.
Jackie, you've worked as a stuntman for quite a while now. Surely you must have gotten more than most people's share of wounds and fractures. But what is the worst injury you've ever sustained?
I've probably broken every bone in me, at least once, at one time or another. But if I had to pick, I'd say the one I got from Armors of God was the worst.
How bad was it?
I fell over 12 meters, having failed an attempt to jump from the top of a building onto a tree branch. My skull was fractured.
I don't know what to say to that.
Try.
Did you see a white light and the ghosts of your ancestors?
No.
This is the man that holds the Guinness World Record for most stunts performed by a living actor, and I must say, it's the living part that is the most impressive, if anything. Jackie, there's more to you than just acting though. You're a film director as well.
Yes, several times I've been the director as well as the star. I like it since I exercise more control over the direction the movie's going, and what kind of stunts I and others do.
In one movie you worked on, Police Story, the stuntsmen suffered so many injuries, they all said they would never work with you again. What is your comment on this?
First of all, I would like to say that I never put them through more risks than I willingly took. Second of all, I responded to this by founding a Stuntsman Association that I set out to personally train and pay medical bills for.
I just thought of a fun idea.
What?
You didn't just learn martial arts and acrobatics at the Chinese opera school, right?
No,
You learned how to sing as well.
that's right.
Can't you sing us a song from one of the movies you starred in?
Tindiya mugera Kingja Duha Yi mon yong nam yak Sam ye vai Waga Sao tham mong yong de yang về dương la Dương phai đêm dương ca đường hà Yan hà hồn Đủ nô yan Phụ nhân
Jackie, show us your stuntman skills! Jump on that train! No way! Jump on that train! No! You're useless! You're the new Jackie Chan! Alright, new Jackie, jump off this bridge, damn it! Now, fight to the death! Hong Kong isn't just one mass of land. It consists in part of Hong Kong Island, ceded to Britain after the First Opium War, 1842. The Kowloon Peninsula, located just north of Hong Kong Island and jutting out of the mainland, acquired by Britain 1860 after the Second Opium War. Marking the border between Kowloon and the rest of mainland China was Boundary Street, although it lost its importance when the above land was granted to Britain 1898 on a 99-year lease. The region was dubbed New Territories and added considerably more area to Hong Kong. Hong Kong is also made up of about 230 more offshore islands, the biggest of them being Lantau Island. At the outset, the island of Hong Kong was mostly barren land dotted with a few small fishing villages, with a total of about 5,000 inhabitants. Upon the foundation of Hong Kong as a crown colony, however, trading posts were established to take advantage of Hong Kong's deep sheltered waters and strategic location in Asia. Merchant housing was also built along with roads, schools, government buildings, etc. Hong Kong began to evolve into a flourishing port for conducting entrepot trade. This commercial success, coupled with upheavals in the mainland, caused a great influx of Chinese immigrants, which fleshed out the Hong Kong population. 1845, Hong Kong was inhabited by 5,000 people. In 1945, it was 1.7 million. It might seem strange that Hong Kong, which is a city-state, or technically a SAR, no, not SAR, SAR, Special Administrative Region, has or rather had its own capital, but it did and was named the City of Victoria after Her Majesty the Queen. Stop showing us a picture of Nicholas II! Thank you. The City of Victoria was the first settlement built by the British on the Hong Kong Island. Hong Kong Island remains even to this day the historical, political and financial center of the SAR. Victoria City has since then lost both its name and capital status due to a campaign led by the Chinese as soon as they got back Hong Kong to expunge all traces of British influence. Although Britain's lease didn't apply to Hong Kong Island or Kowloon, they were still handed over to China in 1997 along with new territories, due to the fact that China held considerable leverage in the negotiations. Due to the fact that they supply Hong Kong with most of its water, which, people need to live. This video is sponsored by water. A new flag for Hong Kong was designed due to this ownership switcheroo. It might have sent some mixed messages if Hong Kong continued to sport a Union Jack on their flag. The new flag had a red background. I wonder why. And an emblem based upon the bauhinia flower, which originates from Hong Kong. I recite this flag knowledge to you because I find it funny that the symbol of the new Hong Kong is a sterile hybrid incapable of producing seeds. On the radio in Hong Kong, you can listen to their own brand of contemporary music. It is called cantopop and draws influence from various other international music styles. It is performed in Cantonese, the language primarily spoken in the Guangdong province and the official language of Hong Kong. You will now listen to a sample to cantopop. Hong Kong, while only 1,104 square kilometers in size, still manages to support a population of 7.2 million, compared to Sweden, who has a population of 9.7 million, occupying an area about 400 times larger. This is a good place to mention that Hong Kong is one of the most densely populated areas in the world. 6,650 people per square kilometer, to be exact. The reason behind this crowdedness lies in the layout of the land. Hong Kong is characterized by uneven topography and mountainous terrain, leaving little land suitable for urban development. So, in order to accommodate the rising number of inhabitants, Hong Kong has expanded skywards, building skyscrapers. The land lacks natural resources and are thus fully reliant on import to acquire food, raw materials and other consumer goods, capital goods and fuel. Sweden, on the other hand, holds abundant natural resources in the form of forests, iron and other minerals, plus hydropower, more than the country needs, so it can export it to other countries for a profit. Hong Kong, not having much room for manufacture or agriculture, is heavily service-oriented. In Sweden, the service sector is also the largest, but the economy is diversified by having an impressive industrial sector as well. Several of the services offered in Hong Kong relates to trade. They then act as an intermediary between the Chinese market and the Western market. In the case of both countries, they are hit extra hard by global financial crises! Go away, I tell you! I will cut you. is a market economy with tariffs and taxes, taxes ranging from infinite small to zero. Sweden is a mixed economy and welfare state with a highly developed public sector and security net in the form of subsidies and social insurances. Oh, please let me die.